Sister Wives star Meri Brown revealed that her honeymoon with Kody Brown left her with a condition, and Jenn Sullivan had a field day after hearing this. This condition could be seriously debilitating at times for the TLC star. But she lived with it all these years, probably because it's fleeting. Today she knows the cause and learned about a quick treatment that should fix it. But on her Friday with Friends show, Jenn asked a question about Kody's part in this. And that question had the two best friends rolling in the aisle with laughter, with the fans also finding this hilariously funny. Meri Brown and Jenn Sullivan chatted out many things during their live show with fans. But if you tune in, the one thing you can always count on is a good laugh. Maybe the world according to Jenn and Meri would better describe their show. Their perspectives often offer a different take on things. But most of all, these two always conjure up a good laugh. Many Sister Wives fans make this show a Friday night online destination. While these two talk about nothing, fans still find them extremely entertaining. But this week, Meri revealed she suffers from bouts of dizziness and has for a long time. She said it started 34 years ago. Furthermore, the Sister Wives star was able to supply the exact date. This confused Jenn Sullivan a bit at first, as that was many years ago to remember a date. But then she learned the date and time Meri offered was during her honeymoon with Kody Brown. So of course, she'd remember the date. Meri shared with Jenn Sullivan that these bouts of dizziness started during her honeymoon with Kody Brown. From what Jenn and Meri described, the Sister Wives celebrity becomes dizzy. Sometimes it gets to the point that she can't stand up, then it goes away. They talked about the crystals in this Sister Wives star's ear being out of alignment. This condition often causes vertigo, called BPPV, benign paroxysmal positional vertigo. According to the Mayo Clinic, BPV is caused by loose particles of calcium in the inner ear. These particles are microscopic crystals that belong in the inner ear. They should be attached to one of the balance organs. But with BPV, these particles drift into one of the balance canals, where they don't belong. So how do these crystals become dislodged? This condition usually develops after the ear becomes damaged, but there's an easy fix called the canalith repositioning procedure. This non-invasive procedure only involves several simple head movements. When done by a healthcare provider, they can reposition these crystals into a place within the ear, where they won't cause problems. This procedure usually works according to reputable health websites. So once the serious stuff is out of the way, the curious Jenn gets a laugh going. When Meri said it started during her honeymoon, Jenn pipes up and suggests that stress did it. Through the laughter, Meri denied that, but Jenn was only beginning to crack the jokes about how Meri got the condition in the first place. That's because she returned from her honeymoon suffering bouts of dizziness. But now it looks like her crystals are loose and playing havoc on her center of gravity. So still laughing, Jenn Sullivan asked Meri Brown about her honeymoon with Kody. More exactly, she wanted to know just what he put in her ear while on their honeymoon. And that did it. Jenn didn't have to say any more or mention Kody Brown's name again. Meri and the fans who were watching this live got it. So Jenn Sullivan's joke painted quite the picture for the mind's eye of how Meri Brown's ear crystals became loose while on her honeymoon with Kody Brown, the patriarch of the TLC series. However, Kody Brown of Sister Wives is a piece of work, and I would argue he is the most disliked villain on TLC. I mean, what isn't there to hate between his crunchy curls and overall unlikable personality? If you watch the earlier seasons, the Browns do come across as a genuinely loving family. I would argue Kody was in love with all four of his wives. He is patient, kind, and considerate. He uses soft language and he listens. But the man who appears in later seasons is an entirely different human being. Kody is now irritable, quick to anger, and unable to forgive any of his wives, which resulted in him losing his first three. No longer is TLC's hit a series about a loving family, as it is more about how much Kody has morphed into his villain era. More than once, the father of 18 has called out his wives for shit-talking him, but what he calls shit-talking, most would call venting. From day one, Kody always wanted unquestioning loyalty, but never gave that trait in return. Instead, cameras caught him often talking disrespectfully about his wives, except robynbrown, his favorite. During his big fight with Janelle Brown, the Arizona resident dared to call her lazy. Mind you, the mother of 6 has been one of the only wives to bring in a consistent paycheck while Kody has gallivanted around town. Kody has shown off his villain behavior a lot. During season 16, Kody revealed some strict COVID-19 rules, which caused some major repercussions. And while Kody wanted to be the one the wives chose, it didn't turn out that way, with Janelle and Christine Brown turning the tables. After getting kicked back, Kody noted, "Frankly, I think Janelle is lazy about an ounce of prevention." This wasn't the only time he called his wives names. He also called both Christine and Janelle, two princesses, giving ultimatums when they didn't want to move into one house on Koyo Pass. Hate is a strong word, but sometimes the way Kody treats his older children is unusual. Sister Wives fans have watched as Kody cut out one son after the other for not agreeing with his dictator-like opinions. The polygamous patriarch has a terrible trait of being able to view his children differently once they hit the age of being able to talk back. Kody wants each of the children to come begging for forgiveness, or he is out of their lives. He also did this with his wives when they questioned him, often cutting them off romantically and sexually. No one has forgotten how he failed to accompany his daughter, Kody Brown, for her back surgery but chose to officiate a wedding instead. Kody Brown and Leanne Brown no longer have anything to do with their dad, who stopped reaching out years before the family started to fall apart. If you didn't like kids to begin with, why choose to have so many, Kody?